Hello. First of all, I'd like to apologize. I'm not a very good person when it comes to making videos, but I do want to sit there and show how I made my 18-speed shifter for Amercian Truck Simulator. So I'll end up pausing in between stuff so I can show you. But I sat there, was online, looking around like most of us do, found a couple, like 3 different places that make these. I was hearing stories about the wait time and everything, so that sort of worried me on that. So I ended up buying an Eaton Fuller 18-speed shifter off of eBay with shipping and everything. I ended up getting it shipped to the house for 22 bucks. Couldn't pass that up. I ended up buying a $4 mouse at Five Below, so I could get the parts out of it to make the switches that I end up putting in here. And I put one in here for the range and one for the splitter. And then I ended up wiring it to the mouse part, the board out of the mouse. So let me pause this and bring up some of the pictures. Okay, so there is a screw here and a screw on the other side that'll take this cover off. I already took the top off the top. Real thin screwdriver will pop that out, and then there's 2 screws on the top. You undo those and I will take the cover off to get to the top for your splitter there. And then here's the part. So what I had to do is I had to sit there, etch that out to make room to put a switch in here, which is a part out of the mouse. And then make sure you be careful, because that right there and that there is the 2 screw holes to screw this back on top. So what I ended up doing is I ended up drilling a hole through there big enough to let the wires from this switch come down through it. Okay, here's I sat there, melted the back part out, had to trim this piece out a little bit because I got a little bit of glue down in here, so I had to trim it so it fit. What I used was Gorilla Glue on this, and then when I was done I put some silicone in here to help hold it in place, plus keep the wires and everything in place. And then this right here, I had to cut this out a little bit so the wires could go down through that part on that this sits on. And what happens is when you go to sit there and put it from low range to high range, it hits that little button right in there and sends the signal down to the mouse. Okay, here's the bottom half for your range selector. Sorry about this. I was trying to do it with one hand and taking it all apart. So anyway, as soon as it swings back through here, there we go. Man, it's a little blurry. There's a ball bearing on each side. That's what makes that click. Again, I apologize for the quality. I don't remember if I swing this through here or not. No, I don't. It's on the next video that I did. But let me pause this and get to that one. Okay, so here's where I drilled it out to put that switch in. So like I was showing there, is when you sit there and you put it in the high range, it pushes down on that little trigger. And I sit there, siliconed that all in so it wouldn't move. So here it is, it's silicone. And I drilled in an angle. You got to be careful because your bolt's got to go up through there, so you don't want to sit there and take too much of that out. So when I drilled through this way, it actually put a hole on the other side for the wires to run through. And then I can't see how I drilled that out for the wires that's going to go in for the splitter. Yeah. See if I can get a better view of that. So there it is. So then I put it all back together. You can sit there. There's that. This one here's messed up a little bit. I mean, it still works, but it doesn't have the kick that it should have in it. And like I said, I ran the wires down to the board for the mouse, soldered them in, and then all you got to do is plug it in. And then I'll sit there and pull up the game and I'll show you how to configure it. Okay, let's see if I can do this. For me to get it to work right, I had to go to Import Wizard. Go. Well, for some reason my controller's not showing up. Well, it's there. Why is it not working? Alright, let me figure this out and I'll be back. Okay. So then you sit there and you go down to your 8 shifter. And I'm going to sit there and do for an 18 speed. So I'm going to sit there and do the range and the splitter. So just so you know, the range select is this. This is low, this is high gear. And this splits your gears. So, go to that. Then go to advanced settings. Go to set all this up, which it should be. So it's all there. In my clutch. And go to next. So, and then you go down to toggle switch. You click on that. And then it should show up as right button. And then go to your shift toggle 2 button. Click it over and then click it back, and then it shows up as a left button. Now that might vary depending on how you hook it up. And you go to next. Finish the wizard. Go to your controls. I'm going to disengage the clutch right now so I can show you how it works. But you want it on 8 shifter. And I have it on range splitter. And I put it on advance. And I clutch and throttle. The reason I do this for the game setup, when you have it like this, it's like driving a real truck. And if you got it Eaton, you want to unassign the reverse. And then I think these should all be set up. Yes. So shift position 1 is all the way to the left and up, which is reverse in a truck. So all my other ones are set up. And then you go down here, it says shifter toggles to be used in switch mode, and that's what they are. So you click on that. And then that's how it works. And then let me go to drive here. So the reason I disengage my clutch is so I can do this. Now let me zoom in to see if I can get both things. So when I go like this, it puts it in gear. Well, something's not right there. I think I got my horn hooked up on the button. So it should be... Alrighty, I did something wrong anyway. Something there. But you can see that it's working. See, I put it in gear, hit the splitter, and it's shifted it up. There we go. Oh, I know what's wrong. I forgot to set it up as an Eaton transmission. Here, let me fix that. Yes. That's what I did wrong right there. Make it work like a real transmission Eaton. If not, haven't figured out how to do it the other way. So now it should be fine. Let me go back. Okay. So that should be reverse. Okay. And see, in an 18 speed, you can actually split the reverse. You know what you're supposed to be able to see. That'd be reverse high there. Now it's reverse low. So then this is low low, which would be first gear. So then you sit there and go straight forward. So that'll be low. Hit my splitter. And it'll go into low high. And then when you come back, you would sit there when it goes in neutral, when you're not using the clutch. Put that back. That'll put it in second low. And I don't split the low range gears. You don't have to. So then you sit there and you go. So that's going to be third. That's going to be fourth. And then that's going to put you in your high range. And then you go right back to the middle. And that puts you in 5 low. Hit the splitter. Puts it to high. But like I said, you don't have to split the gears. In a real truck, I split the upper gears. I don't split the lower gears. So theirs would be 6th, 7th. There's 8th, which would be 17th, and then put the splitter up, and then you got 18th gear. So, and then what's nice about this shifter is because a 10-speed, all it's going to have is this. And a 10-speed, you're going to go first, which you don't have to use. So that's second, there's third, there's fourth, there's fifth. Then you sit there and hit your range selector, go all the way over there, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then 10th. On a 13 speed, this is red, so you know, as a truck driver, you know the red means the 13 speed. And then it's, again, low, low. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Bring it up. Straight forward. There's 6th. There's 7th. 8th. 9th. 10th. 11th. Whoops. 12. And then 13. And then if you got a blue one, it's a 15 speed. Now, my 15 speed was a deep deduction, which means I split the low gears, not the upper gears. And then on an 18 speed, it's gray. And it's the same pattern as a 13 speed. You got your low, low, your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th. There's 9th, there's 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. I missed 2 gears somewhere. But anyway, that's how it works. And when you have it like I showed you with the advance and the throttle, that means you only got to use the clutch, your clutch, when you're stopping and going. And it's very difficult with this game because you can't really feel it. In a real truck, you can feel it grabbing. But if you use it in advanced mode with the clutch and the throttle, you sit there, you go, you let up on the throttle, and that's when you can sit there and shift it into gear. And then when you go to downshift, you just, what you actually do is you sit there, let up and tap the throttle to bring the RPMs up, and that's when you would sit there and bring it out of gear and then pop it down into the next low gear. So, but if you don't use the clutch, what happens, if you're sitting there, say you're over here, which would be your 5th, and you go like this, it'll put you in 8th gear. That's the difference. So if you don't have the clutch, you're going to have to sit there, bring it into neutral, then put the range selector up, and then put it into 7th or 8th gear or whatever. You know, like in a 10-speed, you'd be going into 6. Alright, hopefully this was helpful. And good luck.